Welcome back to the program. In a previous episode on our mental health series, therapist at Botswana Network for Mental Health, Kutlwana Muturi, said one of the reasons depression is the most common mental health problem, it is because it is one of those conditions that is hereditary. Now, adding the pressures of life and work can be quite a triggering experience for those who find themselves either clinically or chronically depressed. This evening, we talk about an experience that most of us, if not all of us, have gone through, which is grief. Grief is experienced when we go through a loss. It can be losing a loved one, a job, an investment, or just simply something we valued. This process, however, comes in stages, which can affect our performance at work. How then can we best deal with loss in a way that can ensure we are capable of delivering our best?
There's no one specific way of dealing with loss. There are a variety of ways that people can experience loss, right? And this is what we call the stages of grief, right? Some individuals can be in denial, This is where somebody tells you that, for example, you've been fired, unfortunately, or you've lost your loved one, right? And your first reaction is to say, no, you're lying. This must be a joke. This can't happen. What are you talking about? That's what we would call denial. And then there's another stage, what we call bargaining. When you're bargaining, sometimes it can come across as a prayer. For example, if you bargain with the Lord that, please God, let this be a lie, for example, let this be a lie and I will devote my life to you. I would become a better worshiper. Right. So that's what we would now call bargaining, where you feel like, okay, maybe if I did this, then this will be undone. Even hella at your job, when your employer is telling you that, unfortunately, we have to let you go, and you would say, no, I promise I'll do better. That's a stage of grief. And then we also have what we call acceptance. With acceptance, it's self-explanatory. You have accepted that, okay, my loved one is gone, or I have lost my job, and you've come to terms with it. There may be certain emotions. They could be anger, there could be sadness that encompasses your experience, but eventually you would accept that, unfortunately, this loss has been lost.
Grief is an experience that happens in stages and in waves, and for people who are working, this can be quite inconvenient for the employer. 1 minute a person is fully functional, they're working at their optimum, delivering results, and then the next they're crumpled up in a pile of tears, dealing with a trigger of this grief. So then what do you think, as a therapist, can be the best way or a sweet spot that both the employer and the employee or the aggrieved employee can best deal with this experience?
The thing with grief is that one moment somebody can be fully functioning, and then the next moment they're in a pile of tears, right? And I think that's one thing that's important to note, that you can go from one stage of grief to another, right? So even if our employers could give us a week or two off of work, it's something that got off of work in order for us to recollect ourselves mentally and emotionally. It may not be enough, right? So what I think would be best to do is, if we have somebody who can help you within the work environment to go through certain emotions, right? Because this week, yes, you'll be given off the week to rest and to recollect yourself, and you do manage to do that. And then next week, something happens that triggers the tears, that triggers this lack of productivity or concentration, or your mood goes down, right? So we need to have somebody there to support you mentally at work. And I believe that engaging counselors, in-house counselors who would stay in the work facility to actually be there for their clients, for the employees, to provide that psychosocial support that they need. And I think it's one thing to note that you don't just have to wait for something tragic to happen in order for us to engage with these counselors. It could be a weekly thing or a monthly thing. where we can get together as employers and we can communicate our grievances in a group therapy, for example, or you can engage in individual therapy if you require it.
In Africa, help is what we do. That is why we at FNB are relentlessly driven to provide real help to you, the passionate and courageous, the creators and the optimists. These are the entrepreneurs we support, the communities we uplift. It is because of you that real help is what we do. FNB, how can we help you?
This program was brought to you in association with First National Bank of Botswana.
FNB, how can we help you?